What's up YouTube, Capital G here, YGO Pro Replay, and I had to upload this because something crazy and very unexpected happens. I'm not going to go ahead and spoil it. You're just going to have to wait a couple of turns to see exactly what's going to happen. So we got Zoodiacs down here at the bottom. Looks like a pretty typical build outside of the Winged Dragon of Ra, which, you know, if this is game 2, it's not really that out of the ordinary. I've always thought Winged Dragon of Ra is a pretty decent card. It was really good when heroes were a thing because it could kind of crack the board of the totally awesome, the Dark Law plus the Bahamut Shark, which, you know, RIP when Link Summoning comes out, won't be able to make that board. And then at the top, we have the True Draco Monarch build, which is actually a domain version. You see he is not running any extra decks, and I think that people will definitely experiment with this when Maximum Crisis comes out. So anyways, Zoos are going first, and he obviously opens up extremely well. Opening with Terratop still means you're going to be able to do some really cool stuff in Zoodiac, especially if you already have your Fusion Substitute in your hand. Now, his combo is actually a little different than what you'd normally see. He is going to go into the Norden, and he brings back the Rapier. Now, this is where it gets a little different, right? So he goes into King of the Pharaoh Imps, and I was like, King of the Kappa Imps? Like, what exactly is this going? But you guys have noticed he has not actually committed his normal summon. He's going to commit his normal summon to X-Able Palomaro. That allows him to make Naturia Beast. He goes into Trident, gets a draw off of the Fusion Substitute, and he actually ends up with a very strong field. Now, I don't agree with him putting 2 copies of Whiptail on the Trident because he's basically got himself back to just a +1 when he was, you know, he had more resources than I don't think he needed to use them right there, because if he gets Kaiju'd, he'd kind of be boned, but you know, whatever, that's his prerogative. So anyways, the True King or the True Draco player can't really do much. Obviously, he can't play these spells because, you know, Naturia Beast is just sitting there saying, I'm going to negate that stuff, and he's in a really tight spot, especially because he does have the Solemn Strike that he is not able to use anymore, because I'm pretty sure his original plan was maybe activate a Terraforming or activate one of these cards and then, you know, Solemn Strike the Naturia Beast, but it's obviously not a problem anymore. However, he is able to summon this Draco Mage, or the True Draco, whatever you guys want to call it. He's able to summon it by just tributing one of his spells and traps. So it usually would blow up a spell and trap on the Zoo player's field, but obviously he doesn't have any, so it's whatever. He tries to go for the Naturia Beast negate, and this is where he kind of gets jebaited. He activates the Monarch Erupt, which, if you guys don't know, if you control a tribute summon monster or a monster that has been tributed, it actually acts as a skill drain. This card has not been that popular, which is why you guys probably haven't seen it. He's going to respond with Drancia, or excuse me, Trident. He's going to pop the monster, but it's not really a big deal because he is able to get a search, and because of that, he's able to actually start rolling. And this is something that kind of shows you this deck has some power. He's able to get a whole bunch of cards. He's able to activate True Draco Succession, draw a couple of cards. Again, it does suck he keeps getting these Solemns as he cannot use them anymore, but overall, he is able to get the bigger monster on board, and he's able to establish a pretty solid board here. Now, this is where the fun part comes. He's going to activate the Zoodiac Barrage. He tributes everything for the Winged Dragon of Ra Spirit Mode, and then busts out the real Winged Dragon of Ra. This is actually Winged Dragon of Ra Zoodiacs, and if you guys are wondering again, like, why did he strike it? He does not have enough life points to strike. If you guys are like, why don't you use the Solemn Strike? He can't. He doesn't have enough life points, so he's going to actually attack for game. Now, I believe he could have used Skill Drain and still had 100 life points, but I think that he was so much in shock of just seeing a fucking Zoodiac deck summon the Winged Dragon of Ra that he was like, bro, you could just have this win. Because I think if I was playing against somebody and they summoned the Winged Dragon of Ra in Zoodiacs, and not just the Spirit Mode, but the actual Dragon of Ra that has like the 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense, I would just give them the win. I'd be like, you deserve this. Like, I'm not even going to stop you. You can just have that win. So obviously some of his other cards were bluffs, like Terraforming, which weren't obviously that good. And I don't know, I do find this Draco deck to be kind of interesting because you do have a bunch of good field spells. Obviously, Dracos have their own field spell, the Dragonic Diagram, but then you also have Domain of the True Monarchs, and, you know, this is just pretty much like a little trolley build of Zoos, where it's just kind of a once in probably 20 games that he actually gets to summon this card. But I don't think it's actually that difficult to summon Spirit Mode in Zoodiacs, because if you open pretty good, and then you have cards like Instant Fusion, and you also have cards like Terratop and the Zoodiac Barrage that can basically get monsters on board without using your normal summon. But anyways, just a nice little replay that I wanted to share with you guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a thumbs up on the video, or leave whatever thoughts that you have in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.